say he should do to say
He's
done it all.
He won that championship. That was it.
Everything. He's done everything. He's scored a lot in assists.
The only thing that can cap off his career is becoming Mr. Basketball.
So why is it that when I watch Juwan Odom, did I feel like he's the best player? Every time I watch Juwan Odom play, I feel like I'm seeing something special. Like I'm seeing something that I'm not gonna maybe not see again. I said that for a long time. BJ Boston was my favorite high school player in Georgia. I don't get that feeling that I'm seeing something I'll never see again. It's the Love of the Game podcast. I'm your host, Madre Allen. We're in the building. We're in the place to be. It's Thursday night. It's 8 o'clock. Y'all already know what time it is. You know how we get down. We're going to go light on the intro, dog. The best guard that I could possibly be. You know what I'm saying? I'm calling my boy. Hey, Locke, what's your play? Four.
I don't need no plays. We don't run plays.
Look, and I don't even know what my boy about to say. Hey, Locke. Showtime, my boy.
Man.
Clear it out. They in here.
Oh, we got viewers?
They in here early.
He don't know how to start.
Because, man.
Hey.
I could segue us into something, but I don't even know where we going, bro. I have no idea
It just started talking because I don't.
We got one of the best point guards in Georgia on here. What up, boy?
It's what's starting to just piss me off because it's happening multiple times.
Yep.
To me with kids. But 2021 is already hard for players to get to the next level. The 2021 class.
Okay.
Very hard.
It's tough.
Let's talk about why real quick, and then we can go into whatever your point is.
So it's tough. So we already know the biggest issue I feel like because of COVID. A lot of players didn't get looked at. A lot of players didn't get
it took away It took away 2 live periods.
No, it took away the whole summer, the whole live period. It wasn't no live period at all last year.
So let's talk and make sure that people understand. There would typically be 2 live periods in April where coaches will be able to see kids. They lost that. They lost it
this year and last year.
Correct. Last year, they also lost the June live period where they would be able to play with their high school and then play in a camp setting in front of college coaches as well in June. Yep. And then we lost the July live period last year as well. So a lot has been, and then this year in April, we lost 2 live periods. So we're talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 play in front of a gym full of coaches that has been lost. That's a big significant thing.
I don't even know the girls' live period as well, how that goes. But boys and girls were both impacted.
Mm-hmm.
College coaches couldn't go to games as they wanted to.
They couldn't come and watch
workouts,
practice or workouts.
Exactly. It was a tough year. So in this case, we always say kids that normally go to certain levels are not going to go to those levels. They're going to go to a level down, which is correct. Fine.
Because also the transfer rule has now changed.
Mm-hmm.
And you're able to transfer without penalty, which is part of the cause of the transfer portal being at almost 2,000 kids. So, and then everybody got an extra year. So we're talking about transfers, guys being able to come back for an extra year, even JUCO guys being able to come back for an extra year. Plus, you lost your live period. You lost 8 opportunities to play. It's a lot, man. Yep. It's a lot.
It's tough.
Out on front of kids right now.
You seeing more kids go prep.
Yep.
Because they need that. Some kids just need that extra year, but some kids recruitment is not going as well.
Yes.
So it's funny. I seen this discussion on Twitter. My dude Afonso was going at one of the high school coaches. I forgot. Basically saying, "Hey, I'm Andre. You got an AAU team. Me and Bryce talked about all this. Any AAU guys watching this, if you have a player that's committed and is about to sign his national letter of intent, should he still be playing AAU basketball?"
He is committed.
He's committed, and he's about to sign his national. Now, I'm saying play in the spring. You play in the spring. Okay, the spring is over. April is over with. You got till May to play. But if you're a kid that's already committed and you know where you're going, it's so wrapped, about to sign, should you still be playing AAU basketball?
So the question is, should they still be playing in May?
Should they be playing AAU, period? I get why some kids might want to play it in April.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's going on in May. You're a senior. You about to graduate. You about to have your senior trip. Some kids are still, some schools are having prom.
Yep.
So as you as an AAU coach, Bryce, you just got here. You as an AAU coach, you got kids that committed on your team. Are you allowing them to still continue to play AAU basketball?
I would think for me that the kids that are committed are now, if they played in April, are now winding down because, like you said, prom, graduation, and you're getting ready to go to school. So I would think before this year, I would have thought that kids that were committed wouldn't have played at all. But I've actually talked to a couple of coaches and a couple of kids who coaches advise them to stay in a competitive environment and play and stay in shape until a little bit closer to time to go to school. So I would understand why a kid may play in April, but you should be kind of winding down. You should be done by now, to me.
What I'll say historically, how it has worked, and I think there are a lot of newcomers in this field of unsigned basketball.
Tons.
For sure.
And I can't speak on them, but what we do is prepare the best group of unsigned kids that we can possibly get. And they'll play in March and April.
Yep.
After April, if you are considered one of the best unsigned kids, typically in a normal COVID-free world, you're gonna get some type of offer after live period. If you play the right way. All right. So then you still have a few stragglers that decide to go the prep route, and they may continue on. But for the most part,
you're done.
You have to move forward, my guy.
You have to move forward.
You have so
I agree.
This is no different just because we're still dealing with COVID recruiting landscape. To me, it's still no different. I look at it the same. For most people, you have to move on. Okay, yes. You have to move up. You can't just be stuck. And as a coach, there's not much more I can do for you, especially if I've had you the summer before. You have to go be coached by somebody else. You need to go to college. You need to move forward, wherever that path is.
If you have something to commit to, you should commit.
You should be working your way towards moving on.
There's some
look at it.
There are some exceptions to that.
There are some, there's some exceptions, but for the most part, this shouldn't be. Well, I can only speak for myself. I don't want to be in the situation where I'm holding people back too long.
I agree.
The purpose is to get you the exposure, try to get you some offers, try to get you out of here. You know what I mean? Now, there are your cases where they, like I said, they reclass, they go prep or whatever.
I would say exception to the rule if you don't have a committable offer.
You play if you don't have nothing.
Well, not just that you don't have anything. If you don't have a committable offer that financially works for your family, because you could have a committable offer that's really still going to put a strain on your family financially. If that is the case, and you have not played in a live period yet, then I kind of understand. But if you have a committable offer to where the financial strain is not going to be there on your family, you should commit and sign and get the hell out of here.
Yeah. So for me, like I said, our goal has always been unsigned, play well, keep it moving. Now, you decide to go another route. As long as you're taking a step forward, I'm good. Whatever that step is. If you're not, I'm not gonna keep dealing with that. Like, we've got to get you forward, because if you don't get that experience at whatever level is above this one, you'll never get it. You know what I mean? Like, you're never gonna get it. You got to move on. So that's the way I feel about it, and which I guess leads Locke to.
No, I got some more to say on that. I feel like that too, and I also feel like it's selfish if you're gonna continue playing and you're already committed,
or you have offers
and you got offers. That is selfish, because there's a lot of ton of players that needs to get these looks. So there's no need for you to be holding a kid who's already know where he's going just because he wants to play. It's a ton of. They're adults now. They're 18s. There's so many leagues they can play in to continue to stay in shape and get better.
Well, let me ask you this though, Locke. Why, again, I'm excusing April.
Yeah.
Why would a kid be playing deep into May? Isn't it time for them to go to school?
I think
a kid is already committed, or a kid
that is committed. A kid that is committed. Wouldn't a committed kid be getting ready to go in school in the summertime? Or do they all wait until August?
Some wait till August, not all of them.
I would think you'd be trying to get there early for some workouts. Maybe financially it doesn't work for every school that way, but
a lot of schools get you on campus for summer school. So by the end of May, by June, you might not. There isn't no more like.
Okay, yeah, that's where I was thinking, Bryce.
Depends on the situation. But I mean, I think just for what I do, what we do, our point is to try to get them to the next level. And you do have those cases where you end up having a guy like a Terrell Ard or Tate Watson, and those guys blow up in that April live period. And then that's when you go back to the drawing board and say, okay, what's your plan? Do you want to keep playing? Do you want to go to prep school and reclass? Do you want to take what you have on the table? Because sometimes you can play through the summertime and your stock continues to rise. So there are reasons to doing it, and everybody's situation is different. Everybody's case is different. 9 times out of 10, those guys that usually blow up typically tend to be 6'5" and up, and skilled.
I'd probably say more than that, 6'6",
6'7", right?
Up, yeah,
right. So, yeah, I just feel, and I think this is a growth thing. Maybe for me, it's just like, man, some kids, I like being around them so much. Shit, I want them to play. Keep playing, because I know I can show up to the gym, and I know they're gonna play hard, and I know we're gonna win. But does that help the kid in the long run?
Does it help the kid in the long run, and does it help the kids that you currently got for the 2022 class?
Right. Does it help?
I think a lot of people are still forgetting about that class.
Yeah.
So you're saying, Locke, you have kids in the 2022 class sitting on the bench playing behind kids that are committed and signed. That's what you're addressing.
That's not my issue that I have to talk about, but I have seen that. Okay. Where kids are playing behind 2021 kids that are committed, and it's like, that's some selfish ass shit. That's some selfish shit.
And it's it might be a bad look too if you're committed to a school or a head coach and you're still playing, trying to pick stuff up. So
you can get hurt. A lot of stuff can happen, and it's like, you know, my dude Fonzo said it really shit. He said, if you propose to your girl and she becomes your fiance, are you gonna tell her to go look at some other guys and she's your fiance? So you committed to this college coach. You want him, you want to go be seen by other college coaches, and when you already committed to them?
It's tough.
In a day where coaches will pull your offer even after you committed, I don't know.
A lot. I mean,
after you sign your national letter,
Dre,
only way they pull your offer is
regardless of the day and age. If you take too long, or if you give some type of indication that you don't interested.
No, I agree. After you sign, that's.
I think a lot of things have just changed with this COVID situation, and people are using this as an excuse to allow everybody to play when everybody can't get something. Let's keep it a buck. Let's be 100 with it. The point of an unsigned team is to find the best kids that you can find that are still college basketball players that have a chance at the next level. Everybody can't get to the next level.
Wait, who's playing with kids that can't get to the next level?
I'm just saying, I'm not calling anybody out. I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of teams and there's a lot of kids. And I think a lot of people are using COVID as a reason to do unsigned teams and have all these kids playing when they weren't doing it before.
I think though too, I think there's a lot of kids that
like you can't use COVID always as an excuse to do something. You know what I mean?
I think there are a lot of kids though, Bryce, that are waiting and want to play in a live period that haven't experienced it.
And guess what? I agree
whether
with
they
that.
should or shouldn't.
I agree with. If you don't, I put it like this: if you decide to play in the live period, okay, you really can't really have nothing going on, or you're gonna have to reclaim.
Yeah, right. We have to reclaim.
The only you can't have nothing going, like nothing. If you got stuff on the table, take it. But if you won't have nothing going on and you got an opportunity to play in live period, I'm gonna say play.
Yeah, of course you play.
But
I agree.
Before a live period, I get work. I put them out. I send them. It's so many workouts. There are college coaches. It was King's College today. We see CVCC. It's like it's so many workouts there going on. Dre, I sent you one.
You can have
so many
spot before graduate, right around the time you graduate from high school, and be good.
Yep.
And so what I know, what people don't be understanding too, you can go to JUCO. You can get picked up from a JUCO in August and play right away.
Yep.
So it's really no waiting because
I wanna address this question though, because two people have asked about how long is too long to wait.
I got an answer.
I'm telling my kids not to wait. That if you have something, go ahead and commit. If you have something that you like, go ahead and commit. Now the problem is that people are getting things again, and I want to make sure we call this out, that because every commitment tweet that you see isn't D-free, as Corey Black would say.
No.
A lot of those scholarships are not D-free.
A lot of them
are not D-free. So I do understand a kid that at that point is playing for money, that hey, my mom or my dad is willing to make this sacrifice and take out loans for me to go play. If I can get something that will be cheaper or more cost effective, then I'm going to take that. So I kind of understand that situation. But I'm telling kids for me personally, and I think every AAU director should be telling kids that if you have something good, man, sign it and move on.
Here's for me, the how long you wait question is depending on what you have. If you have one, you don't have that long. If you have three, you have longer. If you have seven, you probably have a good amount of time.
But if you have seven, shouldn't you just sign? Because if you got seven, like,
I'm just in a normal world, sometimes kids do have 7 to 10 offers. Then you can kind of be a little bit slower with it. DCU. Most kids don't have that right now.
Yeah, gonna be at DCU, the crib.
If you have one,
you can sleep in your own bed.
And yeah, man, I just think because of COVID, a lot of people have used this as a means to make an excuse.
Why would they do that though? Let's talk about that. What's the motivation? There's a lot of unsigned team when you've never had one or you don't have any interest in doing it.
I don't think it just comes from the programs. I think it comes from parents and kids too.
It's parents, people starting their own teams, parents starting their own teams. But like I said this weekend, I hate to say this, but some kids are not just good. They're not good. They're not college players.
Some people are just not college basketball.
They're not college players. You can be an all-region high school player, and that doesn't mean you're going to be a college player.
Correct.
That's true. That's true.
And a lot of programs, like at the end of the day, AAU is about having prospects. It's about having dudes that can get to the next level.
Not just playing every weekend.
Not just like you got to have guys. And I don't know. I get it. You know, I understand. Yes, I'm just saying, like, man, it's just been a lot of changes over the course of the last 2 summers because of what's going on. And
how is it hurting the game?
It's hurting the game because basketball is not an equal opportunity sport. That's what people failing to realize.
This shit is watering. It's becoming watered down. It's becoming watered down, bro. It's becoming watered down.
Like how? So, I'm asking you, not because I don't understand, because I do understand. Look, I want to make sure everybody else does.
I get hit up all the time saying, hey, my kid did this at the game, my kid did that at the game. Nobody was here to look at, nobody was here to tweet. But my thing is, if you're a program not known to have players, a lot of times you're gonna get picked in that back gym. Now we'll come take a look, but we come watch your kid maybe once or twice in a weekend. He doesn't play well. Then that one particular game he plays well. It's not our fault that we didn't catch that game.
True.
We caught maybe a game on Friday night, may catch a game on Saturday afternoon. All right, we watched you twice. You come Sunday, you drop 30. But we didn't catch it. Hey, we caught you twice we caught you 2 games. You didn't play well. Now you played well this 3rd game. Now you expect, hey, why nobody tweet on my game? Hey, we were sitting in the stands these last 2 games. It doesn't matter that you don't know if we're in the gym or not. Cool. Somebody's eyes always looking. We have eyes on the radar, has eyes everywhere.
I want to touch on that lot because it's 100% right. In timeouts, I yell at my kids all the time because somebody may like Locke or Willie or anybody else that works for On the Radar. There are so many teams. So they may only come and watch our floor for 10 minutes. You can't take plays off.
You can't.
You can't bullshit in the summertime and think that somebody's going to catch the moment where you're playing hard, you feeling good, and you got it going. That's not how this shit works. Locke may only have 10 minutes on our court. So when I'm cussing them out in timeouts, that's the type of stuff that I'm reminding them of, whether we're up or down in the game, of he may only have 10 minutes. That college coach may only have 5 minutes or whatever. He may have 10 kids to look at. You got to play hard every play.
And also, I think it needs to be understood that not usually the directors and the scouts, they have an idea of who's on what court. what players to look out for before the event already starts. They know who's coming.
Mhm.
They already know. That's not to say that there can't be a sleeper or somebody can't pop up. It happens all the time. But for the most part, these kids, a lot of them are identified already.
Yeah.
And just to kind of highlight, I mean, not to highlight, but to go back to what I was saying about the excuse to play. I'm not saying an excuse to play. I'm saying it. They're using it as an excuse for whatever reason that they didn't accomplish what they thought they could have accomplished, and they still might not have been a college basketball player or a prospect to begin with. Oh, I didn't get a chance to do this. Let me go ahead and do something. But you may not have been good enough anyway.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not, and like I said, I was once in that position where I played in the back gym, on the radar, everywhere else. Like, I wasn't always there. You know what I mean? I had to learn the game.
Mhm.
I had to learn to figure this. I had to figure it out. You know what I mean? And once you gotta have some dudes.
And not saying some programs might have dudes, but it's about being consistent. You can't be a college player if you're not consistent. Okay, like
No.
I said, you did this. You played well this one particular game Sunday, but I watch you play. You have 4 games in the weekend. I watch you maybe 10, 15 minutes on 2 games, and you didn't play well. Don't expect me to show you any love because I sat here and watched your game, especially this past weekend. I watched nothing but 16U kids, the 2023 class, as much as possible. Okay, now I put my eyes on kids, saw a lot of kids from the freshman year, looked at those kids, seen who's gotten better, and it's like, okay, he's gotten better, but he hasn't gotten he didn't do well enough to get a tweet. But I went to the kid and say, hey, I see you've gotten better since the last time I saw you as a freshman. Oh, I still may tweet that out. Hey, he has gotten better, to let him know, hey, I see you working. But every kid is not going to get that. And like I said, it's not an equal opportunity sport. Like, I think a lot of program directors say, man, you ain't showing us no love. You ain't showing us no love. I'm like, all right, cool. First off, you may be a first year program. Second of all, you might have kids under 6'2", 6'3", which don't mean anything. But I come into your games, and all your games, you getting beat by 25, 30. I'm going to be honest. Who's going to watch that? Who's going to want to watch that? What basketball fan wants to watch that?
Hold on, man. Nobody is complaining to you that's getting beat by 25 or 30 every night.
Dude, you should hear what me and Willie go through. Willie go through it more than me because Willie's nice. I be in the asshole mode where I'm chunking. I'm like, hey, I watch y'all play. Hey,
I don't think that's being an asshole, man. Like if anybody saw my 16s that got popped this past weekend and didn't come back and watch us play anymore, that's our fault. That ain't nobody else's fault. Don't lose. Or don't get blown out.
Don't compete. Yeah.
Don't get blown out. Yeah.
Because my thing is, it's hard to evaluate sometimes talent when it's just a bad game.
And that's the thing about it. Yeah. Like, Ja Morant still played with Zion. Like, you know what I mean? Like, some of these games is just bad games.
Yeah.
And you might find a kid or two, but sometimes it's hard to see how good that kid really is because the game is so bad.
They ain't playing nobody.
Well, you know what, though? I can say this.
You can find them, though.
You can still play good basketball, even if you're playing against a bad basketball team.
No, facts.
It doesn't mean that you don't have to, or that you shouldn't run sets. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't look like a good basketball team. You can still coach good basketball.
But you saying that those teams normally have the better players. When you're running sets, because a lot of times when ANU teams run a lot of sets, they're going to maximize their player strengths when they're running sets. He said lost weight. will tell a parent, "Did you see the game? How your child played?" I ain't gonna say trash, but I'm like, man, he got to work on a few things.
One thing I have noticed that whether you're in the what I'll say is first is Court 4 last weekend was incredible. That was the best idea I've ever seen in the last couple of years at On the Radar.
Opening up and going full court instead of side to side.
Amazing idea. I would love to see that in July.
I agree.
Yes. And what I will also say is, I forgot what I was gonna say. But whether you're on Court 4 or Court 3 or whatever, like Locke said, there's always somebody watching.
There's always people watching.
And if you play well, you're usually going to get some attention.
You will.
If you don't play well and you don't have that type of energy that people are looking for, probably not going to get anything. So, and also, Dre, a lot of people are not used to seeing 17U basketball and 16U basketball during a live period. So they don't understand the difference between a regular AAU event and a live period event when you have to have prospects on the floor for college coaches to come watch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You can't use COVID. Like you have to have players.
Not only that, I feel like this more than that though, B too. Even if you don't have the best talent, you can hold a college coach's attention, man. If you play good basketball.
Good basketball, yeah.
If they can recognize the shit that you're running, if defensively guys are talking and in good position and like playing the right way, if you're not just hacking and being wild and reaching and all that stuff, you can still hold a college coach's attention at least for a little bit.
Yeah.
If this a college coach is going to watch it, look,
they're going to watch the game.
They're going to watch a good game. They see a team running sets, they playing hard, coming off screens, they talking defense, they doing all the necessary stuff they doing to win the game. The coach will say, "Hey, I don't know this team, but they're playing good. They're fun to watch."
Mm-hmm.
Like Woods Elite 16U, it's going to be a very fun team to watch when they get on 17U. Mm-hmm. Even when live period, they're going to be a very fun team to watch. They have a ton of talented kids, a ton.
Mm-hmm.
And they play the right way.
Now, and I try to tell the kids that I have now and the kids that I always have, I try to be a little tougher on them than they're used to, because I know that when they're evaluated by college coaches, those evaluations are going to be how they really feel about that kid. No, he's not good enough. No, he shoots too much. He doesn't have a motor. We can't offer him right now. Whatever they're going to tell him. So when I'm coaching whoever's on the team, I try to get them to understand that, because I'm being generous. You know what I mean? I want the best for you, but I know what's going to come if you don't do what you're supposed to do.
First thing they'll say, he's not a dog, doesn't defend.
Doesn't have a motor.
Doesn't have a motor. In that order.
My head coach doesn't think he has a motor. Oh, can't shoot the ball. Doesn't translate.
Yep.
Moving on.
Almost in that order, Bryce.
Yeah.
Not a dog, doesn't defend, doesn't have a motor. Almost in that order.
Not somebody I feel confident about taking to my boss.
Yep.
Like I've heard it all before. So I'm trying to get these kids and parents to understand, like, you can't, if you see a flaw, trust me, they see it times 10.
Yes.
So fix it. Try to fix it now. Try to
address it.
Try to address it. Let's address it head on and see if we can fix it. Because if you don't, you're not going to get what you want out of this.
Yep. I 100% agree with you, Bryce. I think
I might be.
If you see a flaw in your kid's game, a college coach probably sees 5 or 6. And
yep. And they only need one. to say
You love your child, so you're going to look over a couple of those bad shots or turnovers or whatever, but a college coach is not.
they are not.
So if you don't address that stuff and clean that stuff up,
Hopefully that was a good segue that Locke needed to. I don't know where he went.
I hope so, man. I hope he comes back breathing fire, man. I want him to go off. I don't even know. And you know what he's talking about. I have no idea what. Hey, Chris, I feel like you should put out highlight tapes and just show all like mistakes and turnovers and all the bad stuff so people understand. You know, high school kids don't think that they have to block out, Bryce. Do y'all have that problem?
Yeah.
Guys actually just are jumping up rebounds and not blocking out at all.
Just about any problem you can think of. Guys don't think they have to go in triple threat. Or they don't know what it is. Guys,
the ball with one hand, making one hand passes.
The problem that I have with a lot of the kids that I always have is they're always so athletic. So because they're so athletic and you run up against a team like One Family who's bigger than you and can punch you in the mouth, you don't know how to respond because you're not used to boxing out. You used to out jumping everybody.
Yep.
Well, they're putting their butt on you.
Hey man, shout out to One Family, man. My dude Lee and Daryl.
Are you ready, Locke?
Please.
Yeah, man. I'm going ahead. Hey, so I experienced this with the girl side and the boy side. Normally, how can I put this? I see why you can see why AAU coaches and high school coaches can beef.
Here we go.
Even beef with like scouts or recruit, whatever. Because you can have an AAU guy like you guys, somebody like me, can handle a kid entire recruitment. Make sure you probably know what level, because sometimes I feel like not every high school coach, but some high school coaches don't know what level their players are, because sometimes they only see the players in their region and the players throughout the state. In their state, they never see,
they don't watch AAU at all.
They're not watching AAU, so they really don't know the levels. And it's not every high school coach, because there's a ton of high school coaches at AAU events. Normally, it's the same ones I see all the time, but
definitely is.
And so, when you don't know, if you're not in the mix where you feel like you can make phone calls, or you got college coaches friends and you can make a phone call, say, hey, look at my kid. Normally the ANU guys or the recruit, they handle the recruitment. So basically I handle kids recruitment. Basically two high school coaches messed up these kids recruitment because these kids, one kid was committed, and then he had the audacity to send this kid to an unsigned senior camp the week of when the kid was supposed to sign. And guess who's at that unsigned senior camp? That college coach he was supposed to commit to. And the high school coach said he sent him there because he wanted him to have some more better opportunities. I feel like that's the ultimate slap in the face.
So the kid committed,
posted the edit, everything,
and then went to
a couple weeks later, a month, 3 to 4 weeks later, go to an unsigned senior camp because he said his high school coach wanted him to seek better opportunities, and he's already committed to a school. A 2-year, yeah. Not going to. He's committed to a JUCO, but he wasn't going to to a 4-year school for workouts. He was basically went to an unsigned senior camp, and he saw his college coach that he was going to be playing for the following year.
Okay.
And the reason why the kid was at the camp because the coach said, I want you to seek for better opportunities. You telling this kid that, but you didn't handle this kid recruitment. This kid, they have pretty much nothing on the table. Now you messed that up because that college coach may pull that offer because he feels like, why would your high school coach say that?
Snipers in the building.
That's the first instance.
Okay.
The second instance, and this one, I'm gonna be honest, this happened to me personally because this was my niece. We did a Zoom call at the school, did admissions. The coach just watched film because she couldn't go do the workouts at the time. Watch maybe 3 games, couple highlights, watch a total of 3 games. Say, hey, we want your niece. Cool. Did a Zoom call. My niece fell in love with it. My niece was finna commit senior night. Her high school coach said, no, you need to wait and see what else out there. I said, well, who else calling you? I told the high school, I said, who else is calling her? Well, we're going to get some stuff in the works. All right, cool. We wait. The day I was finna take my niece onto the campus for an on-site visit, why the college coach called the high school coach and said, we're no longer recruiting her. We just got a guard to commit. So I took off to take my niece on the visit, and she no longer could go on that visit. So now I'm the one driving to all these schools and to these different workouts. While her high school coach sitting here preparing for the next season.
Sitting at home on his ass is what you mean.
No, it's a she.
Sitting at home on her ass.
On her ass and she. Wow, I'm sitting here using my relationship. But now, this school we was going to had a major. We already had the plan set up. We already had 4 years where we was gonna probably try to send her after these 2 years of JUCO. Mm-hmm. So it's getting frustrating because it's like not all some of these high school coaches are messing up these kids' recruitment.
Yeah.
And it's frustrating because it's like, okay, you got something, you blowing the bag because you think they want to seek better opportunities. And it's like, if they got something on the table, like y'all said, take it. Especially if that coach wants you.
If they had more opportunities and they're putting themselves out there and they didn't get them. I mean, if they're putting themselves out there and they're trying to get more opportunities and they're not getting them and they have something, then that's what it is. You know what I mean? What I will say is I think there's a disconnect between the two. And I could be wrong. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
There's some resentment between the two. Let's be real and talk about it.
I think the disconnect lies in this aspect of it. A lot of recruiting happens in the spring and the summer. I think a lot of travel coaches handle recruitment more than high school coaches do typically. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Come on, Bryce. Let's get to it. I know you're about to be a high school coach again, but let's not shy away from what the real shit is.
No, I think that's part of it. So if you're not,
I think it is.
If you're not,
let
me finish. If you're not handling a lot of kids and I shouldn't say that word, but if you're not helping assist in bridging the gap between the two in the spring and the summer, oftentimes you don't have that experience to understand when a kid should commit versus when he shouldn't or she shouldn't.
Bryce is still being nice.
I mean, I think that's what it is. I think that's what, and then I mean, yes, of course, people always want to have credit for something, But I mean, what am I missing?
I want to talk about the fact that there are high school coaches that have a disdain for AAU coaches because y'all don't run anything, you just throw shit together, blah 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 blah, when they have no idea how hard it is to prepare with only 1 or 2 days of practice to get a team ready for an entire weekend. They have no idea how hard it is to prepare when you're playing teams that you have not seen, where you can't just go and grab film of, and anything could be thrown at you that this other team has practiced and been made ready for, and you have to adjust to that shit on the fly. There are a lot of high school coaches that knock AAU basketball for a lot of different reasons. A lot of high school coaches I hear is with the bullshit of players having entourages and yes men and all this dumb shit. A lot of that shit comes from high school coaches. And it's because they're not around. You're on vacation all summer. You're not in a gym. And you're not directly responsible for a lot of these kids' development. A lot of AAU coaches are bringing you back better players than what you gave them. And let's just be real. There are a lot of AAU coaches who look at the player that they get back from high school coaches and be like, yo, what the fuck? I'm starting over again. And not to shit on high school coaches, but AAU coaches have jobs too. And we're at your high school game. So if we can manage to make your high school game on Tuesdays and Friday nights, then I think you can make AAU games in the spring on the weekend. And if we're all in it in the best interest of the kids, there should be no beef, there should be no disdain, there should be no resentment from that fact. Like, I had a conversation with a high school coach I actually like at a camp, and they were talking about how an AAU coach will move your kids to a different school. And I told the coach, I said, man, I got players on my AAU team right now that won't take a Division II or an NAIA offer. The parent and the kid won't listen to me when I tell them to take that offer. So when they mad at you and they say they want to transfer, what make you think they're going to listen to me then?
Right.
If you did your damn job and you managed the relationship, you'd be fine. They're mad at you. Why am I supposed to talk them out of it? If they came to you and said they want to play for a different AAU team, how much time are you going to spend talking them out of that shit? Like, I think in my opinion, there's a lot more respect for high school coaching on the AAU side than there is respect for AAU on the high school coaching side.
I agree. I agree with that statement.
You got to respect it. AAU is doing the fucking heavy lifting. You got to respect it.
And, like Dr. Love and Williams saying, they want to be on the same page. There are a lot of high school coaches that are on the same page.
Yeah, there's a lot of
AAU coaches.
The good ones, the ones that's winning.
Not even the ones that are winning. I know some, not all of them, but it's some good. It's some program.
I mean, but the majority of the ones that we see in the gym all the time are the ones that's winning.
Yeah. But I feel like AAU program director coaches may get a kid to transfer. A lot of times they probably get that kid to transfer because it's going to make his job easier when he's handling his recruitment. Because he knows if he plays on this team, he's going to be playing in better events because it's tough. It's sometimes tough to get looked at by schools and colleges. It's tough. It's really tough.
Very difficult.
But like, do those conversations appear out of nowhere? How often do we see kids who are perfectly happy in their high school situation and an AAU person come to them and convince them to transfer?
It doesn't happen that often. I feel like if someone gets you to transfer, that's a relationship that you've been had maybe even prior to that kid got to high school.
Right. And it's probably a conversation that's come up from the kid about wanting to leave that program.
Yeah, the kid might just say he's not happy. It's not always the ANU coach telling the kid, or the parent might not be happy, and he may reach out to the ANU coach and say, "Hey, do you know some schools who need a guard, need a post, need a big, need a wing?" So of course the ANU coach, because at the end of the day, the loyalty is to the kid and the family, in my opinion. And because I'm pretty sure, Dre, I'm pretty sure you too, Bryce, you dealt with a ton of players. You don't know their high school coach.
Yeah, I know a ton of them. I know a ton of them will blame me, like if a kid transfers, and I'm like, bro, I don't care where he goes to school. Personally, I don't. I have nothing invested in where a kid go. I'm not coaching. I don't coach high school at the moment, so I could see if I was connected to a certain high school, I was assistant there or something. So that to me that argument doesn't work. You know what I mean? Or you trying to move him and this and that, man. Nobody wants to do all that. At the end of the day, we're trying to help people just get to the next level.
Facts.
That's it.
You know what? I don't even think high school coaches like when I put a kid as an alumni of the Canes. I don't think they like that.
But my thing is, you deserve to do that. You put in the work.
Care. Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, if you played on my team and you received the offer under us, but I know that they don't like. I know some of them don't like that.
But you know, the ones that don't like it though, they don't. Them the ones they probably don't respect you because, like you say, we know a ton of high school coaches. I'm texting one right now about the situation. Like we have a ton of because they respect us. They respect you guys. They know what you guys bring to the table. And at the end of the day, a lot of them know you're going to do what's best for the kid.
Let's keep it 100 too, since we on this page. This is why they have a June live period, because they never had a June live period. Am I right or wrong?
I think so. They want to give high school coaches more control, which is fine, which I get it.
Nah, I'm cool with it. I'm just saying, like, you know, now go in June. Do what we do in July when it's hot as hell. And we gotta wash jerseys 3 times a day and walk back up there and do it again and do it over again. Right down the, you know what I mean? Go do it. Please.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go up to the high school live period and I'm gonna watch just like anybody else watches. Watch basketball. So I think that's what a disconnect is, man. I think at the end of the day, it's always, not always, but I think there's people that always want credit or think that they know what they're talking about. Well,
and my thing is, I don't have any issue with it. For the high school coaches that don't participate, don't watch AAU, whatever, that's your business. I don't feel no type of way about it. Just don't talk bad about it.
Man,
and if you don't come and support your kids in the summertime and you don't watch them play in the summer, then, you know, if they do decide to leave or whatever, like take ownership of the relationship part. That take ownership of that.
so I would, and I'll end it on this closing thought.
What about the handlers? This is a good question. I feel like handlers are overrated. I feel like this word is over. Every kid, let me be the first one to tell you, every kid that's making bad decisions, it's not people telling them to do it. It's kids not listening to the people who are telling them the right shit to do.
Or their parents.
Or their parents. Like, what are you gonna if a basketball person tells a kid to do something and the parent and the kid is not on board and they don't do it and they do something stupid, like we got to get rid of that handler shit. Some parents and kids are just dumb about the process.
Yeah, I don't think it's something bad. Of course, it's bad. Like you said, it's bad police officers. It's always going to be bad. But it's that's tough. And for Chris' statement, we need all events accepting GHSA passes that will have more coaches attend, I believe. And I 110% agree.
100% agree.
Guess what, Chris? High school coaches don't be letting us in their games free.
That's a fact.
Even media, like people like me, people like Mondre, even Bryce as an AAU coach, we can't get in certain games free. And we know sometimes we could tweet out one thing about a kid, and that can change the kid's whole entire recruitment.
I paid every game to go watch my kid play.
Yeah, that's your fault.
This is the first season. I think
every game to go watch.
This is the first year I've ever had to like really pay to get into high school games because I didn't coach. And because I've done both both seasons, AAU and high school, I've done most of my networking in the spring. That's how I know kind of how it works. I've done both, and I knew that you can. And on any given weekend, you might meet 10 new people. But in one high school season, you may not. It depends on who you have. You know what I mean? So that's why I think it's just, I don't know if the connect will ever be. I don't know.
So Chris, I agree with you. I would love to see high school coaches being let in for free. But to me, I still think Locke's point is valid. AAU guys, when we talk about the rift between AAU and high school coaches, AAU guys still go to these high school games and we pay. And we said that we're there to support our kids, the kids that play for us. We're there to sit with those parents and let the parents know that they have our support. Hey, man, drop that 20. The AAU coach working at UPS don't make any more money than you do.
And
drop that 20.
I feel like
he got a family, he got kids just like you do. I don't, to me, that comes up a lot with high school coaches. I got papers to grade, I got kids, I got a wife, blah, blah, blah. So do AAU coaches, and they got a job. We work 9 to 5, just like y'all.
I got 2 jobs. Sure.
There we go.
AAU, my 3rd job.
No, yeah. But like you say, On the Radar allows high school coaches in their events with a GHSA pass. Every event. Sean tweets that out. Chris tweets that out. So it's no excuse for a high school coach to not see their players. And I think I've seen more high school coaches this year, probably in the past year, than I've seen ever.
Yeah. So I've seen a lot of high school coaches this year out.
So that is a good thing. But like you say, my thing is, like, me and Bryce are getting some of the same tweets off rip. Like, college coaches know July is coming up. So guess what? They're texting us. Hey, what 2022 kids do I need to look at? My thing is with that, I'm not finna look. I'm not finna pay to go in a high school game anymore. Unless it's a game that I really want to see. And it's not just me being cocky, but I know I put the work in, and it's like, okay, I go to so many games, and it's like, okay, I'm coming to watch your kids. So if you're not going to try to allow me to watch this game, because a lot of times I don't even watch the game to see who win or lose. I'm watching the game just to see the kids, because if a college coach called me, I would already have seen that kid play.
You know, one thing I want to say this, one thing that I respect you for a lot is that I've seen a lot of guys evaluate based off of a kid's highlights, and they haven't seen that kid play in real life. I respect the fact that you've seen a lot of kids with your own eyes. And those are typical kids. When you tweet out about a kid, it's typically kids that you've seen. It's not based off of.
Oh, yeah, I don't even watch highlights unless you guys send it. I don't even watch the highlights as much as I used to on Twitter. I'm at the point I tell people now, hey, if it's an On the Radar event, send me your. I'm not gonna look at all this. Send me your schedule, because I'll say, hey, you say this kid did this game. All right, cool. I'm not gonna be at the Friday game, but if y'all got a 10:30 Saturday game at Marietta, guess what? I stay by Marietta High School, about 15, 20 minutes away. I will come check you out before I go head to McKeachie.
Yep.
And stuff. So it's like, okay, you're doing highlights. All right, cool. I'm gonna go see for myself. What time do y'all play? Cool. I'm finna pull up. I'm finna sit there. I'm gonna have my Bojangles pork chop sandwich, my Arnold Palmer with my mask on. I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna watch a half.
Yep.
And if you're playing well, I'm gonna stay watching it. But then if I'm especially like at Marietta High School, it's 3 games going on. So I'm gonna watch you. I'm gonna walk in the auxiliary gym, and I'm gonna go to court 2, go to court 3, and I'm gonna see what's going on and stuff. So,
Hey, I'm tripping that you had the the pork chop sandwich. I'm tripping on that.
oh
I'm
yeah,
with
it's a special going on at Bojangles. It's seasonal.
I'll take that 1,000, and I'll tell any coach you want. Who you want to talk to? Who you got in mind? I can make it happen.
But
They put in a thou wow.
and like you say, bro, Chris is at all the game. Chris is jumping from Marietta Middle, Marietta High School, McKeachie, with his camera out. He's why he has a ton of games, tons of film. We talk about these kids, so it's like it's always somebody in the gym watching, because we have to find out how good are these kids, because college right now, when July hits, if you never experienced this live period, and we haven't had an entire live period in a year, man, it's gonna be on swole. In June, team camp's gonna be on swole at Lake Point.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, look what game he said he watching, Bryce.
Hey, that was a. Don't watch that one. Don't watch. Is that the only one you? Is that the only one you filmed? Do you waste your time, because they got it down. They had it down bad on that one.
But man, when I say Lake Point is going to be jumping at that Georgia team count, because I don't think, from what I heard, Florida is not doing it. Don't know if South Carolina is not doing it. All the coaches are going to be here in Georgia.
They always are.
Yeah.
See, remember when things get back to normal, you usually have EYBL the same weekend as live period.
Yeah.
I mean, going on the same weekend as here. So you got EYBL and you got independent teams. So that means you got just about everybody here.
Like you might have Adidas at Lake Point, Sean at McKeachie, EYBL going on in Augusta.
Mm-hmm. And they're gonna hit
That's
each
3 top events.
Yep.
You're gonna have 3 different coaches, 2 assistants, 1 head coach at EYBL, 2 assistant at Adidas, assistant at OTR.
Chris, watch that. Chris, watch that Kentucky Hoops Dreams, Georgia Canes, Lewis Coville. He had a good little spurt, 10 minutes.
Yeah, and BJ Barber.
And BJ, yeah.
But they throwing shots at you. Hey, my dude. Hey.
I remember you filmed it. Yep, I remember.
Hey, bugging in the comments.
Hey, Hillsman been going at Sandy head.
Hillsman must have been very. Hillsman must have got good drink in his cup lately.
Man,
whatever he got, boy.
Bro,
I was ready for Bryce to come there. That's funny.
Hey, my guy, pour that dark in my cup too.
Hey, Hillsman on that brown and that Zaza. He on everything.
Hillsman and woo wee. Sheesh.
But
hey, Hillsman, I want to talk basketball with you. I'm in the room, whatever room you want to be in, I'll be in there with you. They may not basketball with you, but I will.
Kate Bizzle.
Hey, they running from Hillsman. I ain't gonna run from Hillsman. I want to talk basketball with Hillsman.
We got to bring Hillsman on the show.
College, high school. I'm not running from Hillsman. Shit.
Hey, y'all wild, bro.
Shit, I want to smoke with Hillsman. Hillsman,
Bro, I'm up here. I am up here struggling, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
You might have to go clock out early, my guy. You ain't feeling that well.
Yeah. I've been getting my ass kicked this week. Okay, show goes on.
All right, that's the show for today.
Yeah.
Hey, who?
I've been fighting this stomach flu all week, man. This is the first moment that I've not been curled up in a ball in my bed all week.
Y'all playing this weekend, right, Dre?
Yeah, we're playing.
Oh yeah, I'm off. I might come in there and show my face, but
we're playing, and I'm hurt. I'm hoping that
Where's the tournament at?
At least we don't play until Saturday, so I got another day to try to recover. But I am hurt.
It's a two-day event, man. By Sean on the radar, and I think Julio.
Yep.
From Atlanta Celtics. Who want to smoke? Who want to smoke?
Gonna be good. Oh, there was something I wanted to talk about. I saw a video, and they were talking about Roy Williams retiring from college basketball, and they showed a part of his, I guess, farewell speech where he was saying that that he would retire when he felt like he was no longer the right man for the job. And they were arguing about what that meant exactly. And they hit on something that was really interesting. And I wish this is a moment where I wish Huff was with us. I should have hit Huff and tried to have him on the show, because as a college coach, I would love to know his perspective. But they didn't, the people, it was an ESPN conversation, and they didn't feel like the game had necessarily passed Roy Williams by. But, and I'm summarizing here, they felt like that you don't have the ability to craft long-term relationships with players anymore. And they felt like that's what Roy Williams does. And they felt like that between the one and done, between the transfer portal, and just overall patience.
What about losing?
Losing may have something to do with it. You know, I don't know. I don't, you know, he just had back-to-back throws, I think, from a point guard position. So I don't know, but they felt like that had a big part of him leaving the show, or him leaving North Carolina and retiring. So I want to put that out to you guys, even from an AAU perspective. I do kind of feel where they were coming from when they talk about Roy Williams.
I get it.
You don't have time to try to even get to know. I feel like you don't even have time to really get to know a kid anymore.
About for one and dones?
Even at the AAU level. I imagine probably at the high school level. I don't know.
But you don't need that. You don't need that long to get to know him. Maybe 2 weekends, and you can get to know him. I think
really that's it.
The longer the better. But I mean, if a kid wants to have a relationship with me, I don't think it takes Not a relation. That sounded completely weird.
I don't think that's weird. I know in the context of what we're talking about.
Like,
I mean,
yeah,
pause,
if you
but
want
in
to
the
be
context of what we're
cool,
talking
if you want to be cool with me, it probably not gonna happen the first weekend.
about. I agree.
It's probably gonna happen the second, most likely the third weekend. The third weekend, we probably gonna really like, yo, bro,
Start
you
to
ain't
yeah,
doing
yeah.
nothing out there.
So, and I agree. Do you really have 3 weekends to get to know a
Can't
kid
see it.
today?
If they're committed to your program,
There you go. There you go. I feel like now, though, a lot of times I had a conversation with a parent who I think is a really good parent. I had a conversation with a parent, and they talked about bringing their kid to me, and I said, look, just as a general rule, I'm not starting you your first weekend with me. I don't know you. You don't know me. You don't know my team.
Hey,
We don't know you. I'm not shitting on these guys that been with me.
What if he a dog?
I'm
yeah.
not-
I said, what if he played that first game? Because I know Derek from North Carolina came after that first game. I was like, hey, that motherfucker got to start in this game.
I mean,
I feel you though.
Could there
feel
be?
you.
I understand your
Could there be an exception to that? There could be, but at a general principle, I don't do it because number one, I'm not shitting on these guys that been with me and been riding with me and bought in and playing hard and doing everything I've asked them to do. But number two, I don't know you, and you don't know me, and I don't know how hard I can coach you.
See, he talking about guards. He ain't talking about no 6'8" kid that come come to side. He talking about guards and 6'4". He ain't talking about 6'8" and 6'9".
I guarantee he would start Derek off the first weekend.
I mean, that's just as a general rule, man. That's just how I work. Now, after I get to know you, and I know that you're committed, and you're gonna pay, and all this other stuff that comes with playing for my organization, then okay, cool. But I don't want to because what does that do to the rest of the guys that been with me when kids, jump in and out like that, and I'm, what I'm saying, sitting them down off of potential. I generally just don't do that. I want to get to know the kid. I want to build a relationship.
Understand? I get you. That's how you operate your program. I think that's cool. I think that's good. But I also think we need to understand that too. AAU allows for kids to come from different places. I am allowed to bring somebody from another state.
Yeah.
If you are like old AAU rules, when you play AAU state championship and AAU national championship or EYBL, you could have kids from bordering states to play on your team. So that is understood that this might happen and he could start.
Let me ask you this. Have you ever been in a situation where you felt like a kid was going to be great, and then after about 3 tournaments, you realize?
Yes.
Yeah. That's why I don't do that.
Sometimes.
That's why I don't do that. Because you see him dunking warm-ups, you see him at one practice, and you like, yo, this is the truth.
We got one.
and then you realize that
you know what happened? Know what you got to do?
Your kids will never forget that you brought this kid in and he wasn't even like that.
Oh, hear what you got to do. Hear what you got to do when you have that. You got to go off on that kid. What is wrong with you? What? See if he responds. If he responds, good. If he doesn't, he gotta go. He gotta go.
And I'm gonna tell you a little trick, Mondre. Never have a secure starting 5 lineup. Always change your lineups every game.
I change.
So nobody knows who's going to start. Nobody knows who's going to start.
And you also know why we do
y'all
that?
Change your starting lineup every game.
Every game.
Absolutely.
Hey, so it's crazy y'all saying that.
You know why we do that, Dre? Because in the traditional non-COVID spring and summer, when you have live period, You want to give everybody the opportunity to start and be seen, come off the bench and be seen, be coached and be seen in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
So a kid can't come back and say, damn. So unless you have just a dude who's obviously he's gonna start. He's a big, he's got offers. Obviously, he's probably gonna start. But for the most part, nah, we changing it. You don't know what's going on over here.
Our kids in our huddle, they look at us and like me and Bryce would look. All right, y'all, we just start pointing.
Hey,
y'all start.
I might still be filling in the score sheet, and Locke might be over there. I don't even know who he gonna start this game. Okay, shit, that's what you going with. Let's go.
Hey, it's crazy you say that though, Bryce. I was having a conversation with a parent today, right? And we were talking about my 16U team, and I said to the parent, I said, I feel like we're playing the way that we're playing because there are some kids that have gotten to a sense of entitlement that they feel like, oh, I'm going to start because I start every game. And I was telling the parent that I've been encouraging my coach to shake the table, for lack of a better phrase. Shake it up, man. Shake the table and change the starting lineup. Humble them dudes. That's crazy that y'all say that. I could never imagine doing it every game, but y'all do it every game, and y'all been successful. So I got to take a look at that.
You I think, Dre, honestly, especially when college coaches are out, you're gonna have to really consider it because you do at the end of the day want to give the kids an opportunity to start at least 1 or 2 games a weekend. So they can't say, damn, I didn't get a fair chance. But obviously, like I said, if you have one dude that's superior, he's just that much better than everybody else. The kids also know that. Like, shit, well, he probably gonna start. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, kids know. They know when it's that dude.
They know. But if everybody's pretty much on the same playing field, everybody don't know. You know, everybody. Shit, I can start who I want to.
Yeah,
but everybody's gonna play.
So, John, if that 6'10" dude comes from Iowa and he's that dude, I'm gonna let my team know. He's that dude. He's 6'10", because you know what? He's gonna bring coaches to see you guys too.
Bring him, please, and he will.
He's gonna bring coaches. So you gotta. That's why I think a lot of people don't realize you want to have a guy to be that dude because he's gonna bring more college coaches to help you get seen. Give me a 6'8", 6'9", goofy motherfucker.
As much as I've watched y'all, did y'all start doing this year or last year, or when did this start? Because I don't remember the Ard and Tay Watson years that y'all did that.
Those 2 guys don't count. That's what I'm saying. Like, obviously, those dudes are gonna start, dude. Like,
oh, God.
Talking about Tay Watson might be a professional. He's probably gonna be a professional basketball player. Terrell Ard's probably gonna be. Those dudes obviously gonna start. But even still, some games they didn't even. Some games Terrell Ard didn't play. He didn't start. But that group was a little different because, again, they knew who were the guys. Like, shit, sometimes Javon Tucker didn't start. Sometimes he did. Sometimes Kendall Layton, he started. Sometimes he didn't. I wanted to mix it up because I did want to give all of them a fair shot at being seen as much as possible. You know what I mean? So I've done it plenty of times. Shit, PJ Carter. Sometimes he didn't start. Sometimes he did.
He's at Campbell. So.
Yep.
Okay, that's all I got, bro.
Oh man, hey man, good topic, good discussion, guys. I had to get it off my chest because I've been pissed off about that.
Well, now what do we do about it? Because he back to ground zero.
Well, I'm still taking my niece to college workout, so
I'm sending my guys to all of these workouts as well, man. So, well, guys, that's our show, man. I gotta get back into bed. I'm feeling bad again.
Damn, bro.
I gotta go eat my JR crickets.
Yeah, I'm gonna holler at y'all.
All right.
That's our show. We love you guys. It's the Love of the Game podcast. We out.